Christian!
Yo, what it do?
Christian!
What's up?
Where are you?
Over here in the attic, bro. Where the hell you at?
What? Oh, you know why I'm here?
No, I don't know why you're here.
Last week when we talked last time,
Mm-hmm.
you said you were going to tell me the story about your balls.
Oh, yeah, I was.
You have a ball story for me, apparently.
I was going to tell you, but I don't know. I don't know if I should tell
Wait,
you.
wait, I just want to say hi to everybody.
All right, say what's up. Say what's up.
It is so great to be here for another episode. We are having the most fun interacting with you all in our comments and just receiving messages from everybody. The thing that I think Christian and I love the most is, and I'm breaking the fourth wall just a little bit here. I love that it feels like you guys are sitting here on the couch with us in the attic, and it's fun hearing from you all and sharing what Christian and I have shared for how many years of friendship at this point?
Ooh, a long.
Too long.
Not enough.
We're now inviting you guys in a more one-to-one scenario, and it's a lot of fun. So,
All right,
I'm gonna
because you named it.
What did I name?
You got what's one comment that's comes to mind right now for you from these past episodes?
The one I see the most is whether or not we're gonna do like a video feature of this at some point.
Okay, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. What's the other one?
No, I was gonna say for me, the comments that have really stuck out to me have just been the people that, you know, are glad that we're like, they're like, oh, it's cool to see you guys together. You know, it's cool that, you know, the people that remember like the old times, and they're like, oh, you know, and now it's like all coming back. So when I read stuff like that, it's like, oh, cool. Like, you guys are still here, you know, because we're still here. And Chris and I have talked about how, like, you know, with all this that we've been doing, it's just kind of like, yeah, we may have like left the ball on the court for a little bit, but now, hey, we decided to pick it up, start dribbling it again, and we're playing some basketball again with it. And we're still here, and, you know, we're not done. Job's not finished, as Kobe would say.
Exactly.
Job's not finished.
And
so.
it's interesting because I apologize to who did comment this. They were surprised, like, oh, I'm so glad to see you guys both back, you know, like hanging out again or what have you. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, we've been hanging out, like we never stopped.
We just didn't post anything.
You know.
No, we did. We would post on the Discord. You know, that was something like a small community we have over there. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord, links are in the description. Go check them out. You know, join the Discord, man. There's countless places you guys can find ChrisCrossMedia. We're on TikTok now.
That's right. We're on
TikTok now.
Yeah.
Look at those boomers on TikTok.
I like TikTok.
Is it called TikTok? It better be called Boom Boom by the time we're done with it.
It should be called ChrisCross.
ChrisCross Boom Boom. So.
But yeah, we're gonna close this fourth wall. But we felt the need because we've gotten such an outpour from you all, and it's been really, really nice.
I love it. So keep
like
those comments coming. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
You know, keep them coming. So yeah, last episode I told you guys I was rudely cut off by
Donkey Kong.
Hopefully,
which I don't know why he comes through.
He always cuts us off.
I locked the door.
He needs to go steal Princess Peach or go with Rosalina.
What I think we need to do. This is the actual plan. This is how you get Donkey Kong off your back. Easy answer would be throw some bananas in a corner when he's not looking.
Send him to Guatemala with Chiquita bananas.
Grab his bongos. Then how is he going to interrupt us?
He can't. You're right.
But if he comes through, what I think you should do is like trip him.
Trip him up.
Make him fall up.
Throw him over.
Bit. Yeah.
Hit him on the head with a hammer.
We're going to catch him this time.
We'll see. He's going to come. We know he's going to come. He's going to be here in every episode.
Yes.
But before he comes, I'm going to tell you guys the story that he rudely cut me off with.
Yes.
And I'll tell you one story of the many stories that I have about my broken bones. But this is the most famous of them all. And it was the first bone.
Oh, well, you know what?
Huh.
I want to hear about your first bone. But after this, I think this is a great opportunity for you and I to open up about some of our worst injury stories. Because I have a really bad one.
Okay.
I actually have two really, really bad ones. But, and I apologize to those who personally know me. I'm going to say this story for the millionth time.
I've told this story a
million times
too. Dude.
So I'm sure you have.
I love telling the story.
Yes.
My brother,
go for it. Sorry.
My brother, if you're listening to it, he already knows what's coming. And I don't remember how old I was. I want to say I was about 7 or 8. maybe 9 or 10. I don't know.
You're a baby.
I was a baby, but all I remember was that it was my brother and I. We were watching WWF, now WWE, and it had to have been a Monday. We were probably watching Monday Night Raw, watching the Hardy Boys, some tag team matches, and so we're there just jumping on our parents' bed, and then one thing led to another. We're play fighting on the bed, we're wrestling, and I'm just jumping.
So wait, you're how old again? You said
I must be like 7 to 10, somewhere around there.
Then he's what?
I must
5?
have. So okay, maybe he was like 3 or 4. So I was maybe like 10 or 11.
So he's a little baby.
Yeah, he was young.
Point.
He was young. He didn't know what he was doing.
All right.
So we're both jumping on the bed, and for whatever reason, he decides to like drop kick me off the bed. So like you can imagine me, little meatball, jumping in midair. My brother just jumps.
Was it premeditated or was it an accident?
Boom! Just, I don't know, man. I don't know what this dude was planning, but he just launches me off, and I land. We were living in an apartment. It had these closet doors that kind of like slide and glide. So I landed right on the bottom of that glider on my bum.
Oh no!
And I was screaming in pain, and all I remember was hearing my brother like, like laughing, because he thought I was playing. Like he didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And I was just screaming for my mom. My mom came over, and long story short, I ended up breaking my right elbow, and I was out. I was out for quite some time, but luckily, thankfully to that, that's when I kind of started picking up how to write with my left hand, how to like use my left hand, and it kind of helped me be a little bit of like ambidextrous.
Can you write right now with your left hand?
Yeah, actually.
Really?
It's not like perfect, but it's legible. And I've broken, a lot of other things on my right hand.
Right.
So over time, it just kind of became. To this day, I still think that I can throw a baseball like left-handed. If I really work at it, I feel like I could really pitch well. Because with my right arm, it's shot, and I feel like my left arm still has that.
Yeah.
Still has some prime time left in it,
That's so interesting. Have you seen those videos of people? I'm assuming, I don't know the science behind this, but you can use both sides of your brain, and they can draw like photorealistic photos, like drawings of like celebrity. Like there's a guy, I think he was doing like Leonardo DiCaprio and so. Bro. And he's drawing with both hands.
Both hands.
2 different pictures.
That's insane. Like the human body's insane.
Exactly.
There's so many.
And we're not all built the same. Some people are just born with that gift.
Clearly not.
I don't think that's something that could be taught. I love these videos. I saw a video recently, and I want to get back to your socks ball story.
Okay.
Because you left us hanging last time, so I want to hear that too. But like these children prodigies that there's like a kid who can do all these. I don't know if it was one of the platforms, and he can just break down a song and like play it like on a piano and all the different instruments and like cut music, and he doesn't look any older than 5 or 6.
Yeah,
and
man.
It's just insane. Like
these kids are just
some kids are just
crazy.
born with these gifts.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Justin Bieber. Dude was like 5, 6, YouTube superstar, and look at what he became now. Some people are just built different.
Can I say something?
What? You saw Justin Bieber's photos, didn't you?
No. Is there a thing going on with him right now?
Oh, it was back in the day.
What I'm saying is, out of all the prodigies,
I picked Justin Bieber.
Of anybody you can pick. Nothing against Justin Bieber.
You're not a believer?
I can't say that I have listened to enough Justin Bieber music to say, but I think it's hilarious that out of everybody, I mean, you could have gone like, I don't know what you could have done, but like Michael Jordan or like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but I picked Bieber. Justin Bieber,
the Biebs, man, you better believes,
I don't think that even like a believer, like when you're talking about like, well, maybe they would have said it, but I don't think that's somebody's first choice.
It is mine now, so But I'll wrap up my my ball story so we can,
because I want to talk about my injury story.
Yeah, we'll get to your injuries, but yeah, before DK cut me off, I was letting you guys know that I was collecting the Chicago White Sox championship series balls that they were selling at the Chicago Sun-Times. So you had to get a newspaper And on that newspaper, there was a little voucher you cut out. Every week was a different
I miss
ball.
that. You know, when they had like little coupons
little
and
things,
stuff
like,
in the
even
newspaper.
coupons and stuff, you can take them to BK, you know.
Or the Six Flags Coke cans.
Yeah.
They still do that?
They have to. I don't know. But
okay, last thing.
yeah.
In school, did you ever like have a thing where if you read a certain amount of books or certain hours,
oh my god, yeah,
you get like Pizza Hut tickets?
Hell yeah.
Wasn't that the coolest thing ever?
Yeah, dude. Why do you think I got fat and why I loved reading? That's a whole other story, man. I got stories about that too.
Like, I remember as a kid, that was like the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, we had a thing called it was called AR, Advanced Reading.
Yeah, or accelerated reading.
Accelerated reading, and you got different points based on the books. And
yeah.
That's why I became a Harry Potter dude. Well, we can go on with this.
That's
we're gonna have to talk about this another day. Maybe today.
No, today. That would be cool talking about like our favorite books and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, go back.
Yeah, let me wrap up this sock story.
Yeah,
before if I don't finish it up, my sock's gonna start smelling. So I'll wrap it up. Yeah, I mean every week there was a new ball, you know, and you had to have this voucher to get it. And like I told you, the brother gave me the newspaper. He was collecting them, but it was already like 5 weeks in advance. So the first ball, like, I would have missed, you know, and you had to go to a 7-Eleven or to like a Walgreens, I forget what it was, and they had them at the register, at the counter. So you went, you gave them the voucher, you still had to pay for it. It was like $3 or something, and you got the ball. And I remember my dad, man, my dad's a freaking champ for this, dude. Like, we went to, you know, because I started collecting them and I was missing a bunch in the past. So I would ask people, like, hey, like, do you have this one? You know, like, oh, no, we sold out. That was 2 weeks ago. Okay. I looked up, like, a bunch of different 7-Elevens in the area. My dad took me to the hood, bro. We were in the hood. Like, I'm telling you, it was bad. And I will never forget this guy. You know, we went up to him, and I guess people aren't White Sox fans in the hood, which doesn't make sense, you know? But they had, like, all of them that I missed. And I was like, and he gave them to me for the low, you know? And at that point, like, I had, like, all the collection up until that point, and I completed the set, and it came with, like, a cardboard cutout of U.S. Cellular Field, and you placed them in all their different positions. It was like 20, 25 balls. And it's one of the only things, like, that's my prized possession. My mom still has it, back home.
Still had it, yeah.
It's like the one thing she still has of mine out there. And every time we've moved, those balls have gone with us, you know, and my mom knows. That's one, because my mom used to throw everything away from me. Everything, you know. And that's one thing that, like, she finally learned, like, don't throw away my kid's collection because it means something to him. And I think that's why that means so much more to me, because it was finally my mom realized, like, yo, my son actually has a passion for this.
Right.
And, you know, I've been throwing all his stuff away that he really cares about. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. And to this day, I still have it. I want to bring it here, but I kind of feel like it belongs home, you know? It's kind of like
story there.
Yeah,
and your dad took you out to.
It was. Everyone was involved, you know, and so that's why it means a lot to me. And
does it?
You know, sucks the White Sox haven't won since then.
Is it
Fire Recon
difficult, or because you mentioned it, and I kind of just noticed how you were saying it. To those listening, they don't have the video feature yet, but
yet.
I could see that there was a little bit of, I don't know if it was you're holding back a little bit of pain, or just like, is it difficult, like, having a lot of things that you grew up with just tossed away?
Dude, it's painful.
Yeah.
You know, it was definitely, it's one of those things where, what do they say, like, when you're healing your inner child? It's something like that. It's like, it's taken a toll on me. You know, I'd be in tears, like, when I would have fights with my mom, and because you see Pokemon, for example, Pokemon blow up, and I had, like, all the cards. Same with my Yu-Gi-Oh collection, you know, and I have gone through just how in my life, I feel like I've restarted my life like 3 times already. Mm-hmm. I restarted that collection so many times, but I lost my first edition sets, you know? So, yeah, it was tough knowing that, like, all the stuff you worked for just got thrown away and it didn't mean anything, or, you know, it was just trash to somebody, but to me, It meant a lot. I mean, I even go to like my video games, like my saved files. You know, my sister like, you know, went into my game file and deleted all my Pokemon games or whatever. Yeah. You know, and it's a funny story. Like my cousins make fun of me because like, you know, I'm going to start up one of my games. I think it was Zelda or Pokemon or something. But like I went in all excited to show them like, hey, look at how much I got. And all you could see was Michelle, like my sister's name. Like she changed the name, made a new file.
I've told this on the channel. I think in some of our Let's Plays or something. I have a story very similar, but I'll tell it after you're done with yours.
So like, you know, my cousins make fun of me. He's like, they always bring up the Michelle. They say it like that. Same with like my cousin Sharky. We have a story about him. Like, you know, we were playing, you know, back in the Halo 3 days, and I think like I was playing with, you know, my little cousin, his younger sister, and all we could hear was like, Saul, no! Because he came in and just shut off the Xbox, and you could see like Jazzy Fizzle signed off, and then like 2 minutes later, Sharky got a mic signed on, you know? Man. So we always make fun of him too. So like we have a Michelle, and we have a Saul, no! It's just, you know, we laugh at it now. At the time, it sucked, but yes. Now to answer your question, it used to hurt, but I'm healed, and
you still have those memories.
Time heals everything, and now they're fond. You know, they're happy things to think back at, and like something that like we'll talk to my mom now, and like it's just all water under the bridge, and it's something that we can now connect, and we have a story together. So it turned from a negative into a positive.
That's good.
Yep.
All right, you want to hear?
Now I gotta hear your injuries. Now I gotta hear your family stories about your saved files.
Yeah,
you know,
I got them.
I might have a confession for you. You might have to confess to me. I don't know what else.
Father Mata.
Yes.
I have something to confess.
Brother Minister Mata.
So okay, we before I jump into my stories, again, this show could have been called Circle Back or Segues.
But it's the attic.
It is the attic. That's perfect.
All the things
involving ChrisCross.
The circle back. Oh, ChrisCross. Okay.
So we're watching. It's called The King of Harlem.
The Godfather
of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker. This is whenever we record, we're fresh off of this show.
Yep.
And it is so good. I think we may have mentioned it in the podcast, maybe briefly. I don't remember.
Maybe briefly.
That is basically the appetizer that we get in before coming here to record and talk to you all. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I can't recommend this show enough. It's Forrest Whitaker. You have
Pollo Locos, Pollos Hermanos.
Pollos Hermanos, yeah. Gustavo Fring in it. Malcolm X is in it. It's amazing. It's a great show.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes. What was I? Oh, but anyway, they talk. There's the whole thing about Malcolm X and the Brothers of Islam, and
yeah, it's a great show.
I'm gonna start calling you brother Christian.
Brother Christian. It's got a nice ring to it.
Okay. Anyway, great show. I was talking about my injuries. So my entire left leg, and you've heard this story 1,000 times, just act surprised.
Okay.
Was engulfed in flames.
Oh, what?
No,
dude. Were you in The Lion King?
I was. Michael Scar. So we were having a summer gathering with my family. All my siblings, most of my siblings, are born in June. So we have this big summer party. All of our family comes over. And we're all setting up, and we have these tiki torches on the lawn. One was a little crooked. I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want anybody to get hurt. Looks like it could cause a scene. I'm going to make the effort, be the big kid that I am, which I was about 6th grade at the time. I'm going to make that thing straight, fix it, and I may have saved one of my cousin's lives. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing the largest baggy cargo pants you've ever seen in your entire life. Classic 2003.
Yeah, classic early 2000s,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was flying. The frosted tips, everything. Mm-hmm. I fix that
Guy Fire
hole.
Ready.
Yeah. I had fire shirts. I'm not joking. It was ChrisCross dives and dines, whatever it was. It was horrible. And I gotta find a picture. I'm gonna post it on social. But I had glasses and everything. It's amazing.
Oh my god, I have some photos like that too.
I had the button-down Dragon Ball Z shirt. Oh everything. My god, man. It was great.
Oh yeah, we'll find photos.
So anyway, my baggy shorts catch the flame. My whole leg goes on fire, and I don't see it at first. I'm just looking around, and I feel the stinging sensation below the equator. And I'm like, what the heck? No, it was really just my shin. And I'm like, what is that? What am I feeling? And I look, and I'm on fire. So, I use my wrist, and I'm patting it out. And we had this pool set up. It was like a little 3-foot, like above ground pool that we had set up for the party.
Those inflatables?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I logically just jumped into the pool. And my uncle and my siblings were there. Like, they didn't see any of this, but they saw me jump in the pool. And they're like, yo, Chris just started the party. And I go inside, and I was like, do I tell my parents? What do I do? Because, like, I looked down and looked all red. And, like,
man's had a third-degree burn.
First layer of the skin's gone.
That's why you didn't feel nothing.
That's exactly what I was well done. Yeah. So I go to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I kind of hurt myself. She's like, what happened? Can I have a Band-Aid? I didn't sound like that, but can I have a Band-Aid? And she's like, yeah, what happened? And I'm like, oh, this. And she's like, oh my God. And
did you stop, drop, and roll? No, Mom, I died.
It was a perfect 10.
Go straight into the pool.
I did a backstroke.
You didn't see?
They went to the deep end. So, this takes us to my dad. And this is what pissed me off. It was literally the first week of summer. Like, I just got off. And you're a kid, when you're a kid, you're outside every single day. You're getting sun, you're in the pool, you're swimming, sprinklers and the whole shebang. And I had to wear wrappings and casts the entire summer. I think I got it off like a week before I went to school. But it's a great memory. And amazingly, no scarring, nothing. I don't know how.
That's the beauty of being a kid.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I don't have a lot of scars either. But
you should be half the model you are from whatever all the broken things you get. You're like,
I think that's why
Wolverine with the.
Yeah, I feel like I do walk like with a limp a little bit. My iPhone tells me I have like a 55% to one side, 45 to another. But I think it's from all my injuries to my right side. But yeah.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was supposed to say?
You said you had I was telling you a story about like my saved files, and you're like, I got a story.
All right. Yeah. I've told this on like some Let's Play of ours or whatever. I definitely plug our Let's Plays right now because they're amazing. I shout out to Dano, who texted me a picture. Dan was watching the Donkey Kong Let's Play.
Started from Dano, I love you.
Donkey Kong Country Let's Play, episode 1. I saw the picture and I was like, so many memories.
And I was asking you, I'm like, are they watching it? You're like, yeah, they're watching it.
Yeah, they're watching it back home. So, so my save file story. So I had a Pokemon Blue version. I had a lime green Game Boy Color.
Dude, me too.
Iconic.
Dude.
Love it. I love that color.
I love that look.
Did you have blue version too?
Yeah. That's like, I thought it was like the Ninja Turtle. I thought that was like Leonardo, which is my favorite Ninja Turtle.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
The green with the blue.
It's a really great color combo. I love it.
Color combination is
And
cool.
I wanted red version originally, but my little brother wanted red, so I was like, all right, I'll take the blue. But I'm a Charizard main. But
right.
Anyway, so I had Pokemon Blue, and I spent so many hours in that game. I got everything possible, every item. I got every single Pokemon, every evolution, and I'm not joking when I say, and this just shows my dedication at the time. 100 level 100
on every Pokemon.
Every single Pokemon. Bro.
That's So I attribute my collection addiction to Pokemon. I also attribute Pokemon with my OCD because I think that getting every Pokemon at level 100 is OCD. Because I could not, if I saw a Pokemon that was not 100, I was gonna level him up. And I also had every Pokemon level 100 too. Like, you just had to. Like, were you really a Pokemon master? No, you weren't. You had to. Cause like, what else
did you have Mew?
I may have done some Texican stuff to get it, but I had Mew.
Here's
actually no, I didn't have Mew. I got Mew years later when I finally heard about the glitch. And I think that's the only legitimate, illegitimate way that you can get it without getting it the legit way.
Okay, so let me talk about how I got it. So, I maxed out my game. I got level 100 for every Pokemon. I just needed 2. I needed Mewtwo, and I needed Mew. I got Mewtwo. I remember it was a crazy battle. It was such like an epic moment.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I didn't have a Master Ball. Because...
Are you the one that just accidentally used it?
No, I accidentally threw it away. Because this is where... I think I have some sort of Pokemon OCD as well. You know, you're walking in a building and you come across an item. Now, I didn't comprehend, nor did I know or understand at the time what a Master Ball was. Right. I was like, I'll just get another one. I threw it away, and then I ended up picking up like an escape rope or something stupid like that. Whatever. Stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Just let your Pokemon die.
And then I later found out, as I'm trying to catch this Mewtwo, I look, because I kept failing, and the thing you're supposed to do is just use your Master Ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god. I remember the moment I threw it away. It was in the Silphco or something. Or, I don't know. I just, at the time, I remember like zooming, like in my mind thinking, oh my god, you idiot.
Yeah.
And anyway, so
you were smashing that A button, huh?
I was smashing it. Yeah. Not reading the dialogue.
Without a Master Ball, you gotta smash
I think I was smashing the A button because had I not read I didn't read the dialogue.
You remember
he tells you what the Master Ball is.
All the little cheat codes are like the lore, the myths back in the day. Like you throw a ball, you push up, down, and right when the little poof comes out, you hold B or something.
I still, to this day, whenever I play Pokemon, still hold B.
Yeah, like it was just some like you push up, down. When you see the pop, you hold B, and like it's automatic, and like it worked, and you just believed it, and it just became a habit. I still to this day do it, but there you were, just Pokeball, great.
But to catch Mewtwo was such a battle at that time, and I'm sure people who speedrun they could do it pretty easy. When you were a kid, there was no internet. It just came out. Pokemon was so fresh and new to everybody. Yeah. It was such a triumph to catch Mewtwo, especially the way I did. It was unlike anybody else. Right. I level 100 him, and then I got Mew through a trade from a friend.
Okay.
The day I got Mew, I don't know why, I don't know how, but my brother never touched my Game Boy. I guess at this moment in time, felt compelled to go into my game, start it over, and hit save. So I go to turn my game. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. It's right before bed. I'm gonna do some leveling up of that, and then I look, and I'm in Professor Oak's lab, and I'm thinking, I don't remember being here. And I'm like, why are there 3 Pokeballs on the table?
Oh man!
And I died, and to this day, I haven't. Level 100, full Pokedex ever again.
You, right?
I was just so beaten.
Yeah, I mean that's like life, right? You get to a certain point and you're just like, I don't want to do this again.
But I mean, it's a great story, and I have fond memories of those Pokemon. They feel like passed away friends,
right?
Because I spent so many hours with them,
dude. So many. Like to piggyback off of that story. There's people, and it's out there with so many Pokemon games that have been out there and how big it got. I envy the people that still have, let's say, their original save file from when they were a kid. Yeah. And through all the different process and games that they're able to transfer those same Pokemon to, like, the newest version.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've been... Maybe there's a cutoff a couple generations ago, but up until a couple generations ago, it was possible to get your Pokemon.
It's still possible. I think
it might be. It might be, and maybe in the comments they can let us know. But I envy those people.
It's like the soul of that character has been able to
because if you think about it, it's all ones and zeros. This is just some like big brain. Oh my god, aliens! But like everything's 1 and 0. Everything's a code, right? But it's like that Pokemon of yours. You made such a connection to it. And you just saw it in this 2D sprite platform. Imagine, if just being able to, pop... even when, Pokemon Stadium was out, I felt so cool.
To see them in 3 dimensions. To see them in
3D and you'd invite your friends over. Hey, I got the N64 control pack. Yeah. Pop your game and you're having, a 3D battle. Bro, at the time, people take 3D for granted, bro.
Okay, so
I loved Pokemon Stadium and what that game did,
A few things. I feel like Pokemon hasn't replicated that kind of excitement. Mm-hmm. And I wonder what it would take for them to get to that point where you have this sprite, which to this day, I still wish they did sprites.
Right.
Those 3D models that they have now, which are ironically kind of they almost look like less expressive Pokemon Stadium 3D renders. Because Pokemon Stadium had like a lot of those characters were animated so like they had a lot of expression.
What if?
But what I was gonna say is that feeling of going from 2D to 3D. That was just, and it was the same character, the one you've been with this entire time. I wonder what it would take to like make the player feel that once again.
I was gonna say, you know how like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, and even Halo 2 Anniversary, when we played it, remember I'm like, dude, if you push select, it takes you back to the old version.
Yeah.
And you can instantly swap between the new and the old.
I'd be down for that.
Imagine they did that with the Pokemon game.
Yeah.
At the click of a button, you go from sprites to 3D.
That'd be cool.
And I get it. Maybe it's harder to do on a newer game because they're so expansive now. But if they ever do another Red and Blue remake, if they do something like that allows you to switch from old to new, that'll really cash in on the nostalgia, you know?
I mean, yeah, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
I would buy that, like, right now, you know? It's the technology's there, but yeah, I would love to see that. I'm curious, you know, we're older now, and, you know, our love and our attachment is to those original games. I wonder if, like, kids growing up nowadays, you know, one of my neighbors now, he's maybe, like, he's about to be a freshman in high school, but just hearing him talk, how many hours he's put on Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, cool.
This kid has put in countless hours. He's beat both games. You know, huge Pokemon fan. Like, I wonder if he will have the same feeling towards Pokemon 20 years from now like we do. Because those are their first games.
Yeah,
you know?
I think so. I mean, the thing is, with Pokemon, it's stayed relatively the same, and it's never stopped. And I think that's why it continues to draw people like us or anybody who's entered the series at any point in time over a course of time. They can always jump back into it because it's familiar. It's familiar
for the most part. The same.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad we're talking about Pokemon because today I was on Twitter and someone, you know, I'm always scrolling through the comments of Twitter. And I saw this image of a Slowpoke evolution line. And it was killing me because the fourth one, I'm like, what?
Slowking?
Like, no, I know Slowking. But it was a Slowpoke, like, inside of a cloister shell. Like,
it's not the Mega Evolution or,
well, see,
or variants?
That's what I found out.
Yeah.
Apparently that's Mega Slowbro. But
yeah.
I had such a, like, bro, like, I don't know who this is. Like, what the heck? What did they do to my Slowpoke?
Yeah.
You know, like, so yeah, I guess that was Mega Slowbro.
How do you
and that was so cool. It looks like he's like a topsy turn, like he turn on the top like a Mexican toy. Like,
yeah.
You know?
I have a lot of weird mixed feelings with all these things. So, for example,
and there's Galarian Slowpoke too, which I didn't even know.
So I love those like regional variants. I think that's so cool. It's the gimmick aspect of like the X and Y forms, and now there's Gigantamax, and then there's isn't there one other? Or
well, there's Max. Those are the ones that they introduced, right?
Max recently,
Pokemon.
right?
And then they had the region difference. And
regions are fine.
There was a different one, the newest one.
Gigamax, right?
Maybe, I forget.
Or Gigantamax or something. But it's like my issue is there's always been an evolution line, and there's only 3 evolutions, or three stages. And it's like then they introduce the X and Y Mega Evolutions. I'm thinking, there's a temporary boost. The Pokemon, if you have a good relationship with them.
Digimon version, right? Like where it was like
kind of
Digimax,
and then you go back. But now there's like this Gigantamax or Gigamax or Megamax, whatever it's called, and then there's I want to say there's one more. There might be another thing, but it's like how many more like my Pokemon gets big. Like, are we going to get?
Yeah, and I still can't get my Goruchu, man. What the heck is up with that?
Well, what I wish they did was, you know how they introduced the X and Y, like, Mega Evolutions? I wish they just, like, instead of all these other things they keep bringing back, just keep that. Because we haven't got Mega Evolutions of every Pokemon yet.
Right.
Right? I would love to... Like, there's an X and Y form for Charizard. There's an X and Y form for Mewtwo.
Right.
What's the X and Y for Blastoise? And what's the X and Y for so-and-so? And there's so many generations that we never saw what their X and Y form could be. So it always bothered me that they just kept changing it up so that they can...
It's like a new gimmick to sell the game.
And they keep using, like, the same Pokemon. Like, I love Charizard, don't get me wrong, but, like, Charizard, Mewtwo, Pikachu always get, like, the special treatment. Right. And then beyond that,
it's because they have to sell toys and they have to sell cards.
And this is my problem with it, though, because I am a Pokemon fan, right? Mm-hmm. I can't say that I love the newer generations as religiously as I did with the first 2 or 3, but I almost feel like I don't get the enthusiasm from Pokemon to enjoy the new Pokemon. Therefore, I don't really have a strong connection and or interest in them.
Right.
Because they're always still peddling the originals, and I get it. I'm nostalgic for them, and you throw Jigglypuff, Gengar, and Charizard on a lunchbox, I'm going to buy it. But at the same time, I wish they doubled down on their newer stuff, just so... You know what I mean?
Just to
and maybe it's wrong with me, but like I feel like I haven't had a real connection with any of these generations.
So maybe they're missing their mark, because I think that the reason why they're doing like that is their intention is probably, hey, if we refresh these older classics, it's gonna bring back the people that know those Pokemon.
That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah.
But in your case, that's putting you off. That's kind of distancing you from the game.
Well, no, because I prefer it.
Because I love it anyway.
Prefer it. But
you wish they put that much attention into the newer stuff.
That's the problem. Close my water. The problem is that I almost feel like there's no reason for me to fall in love with the new Pokemon because I know my favorites are always going to get the same treatment, if not better.
Right.
So why do I care who this starter is?
I really I wish I had a Switch, man. Like, my brother just rebought, because he also got his Switch stolen, by the way.
Wow.
Both Madas got owned. I just sent him in the mail his 2 games. I forgot which one it was, like Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. I sent him off. He's got them now. He got them next day air. You know what I'm saying? Light work. But I'm like, sheesh, he got the Zelda version too. I'm like, yo, let me get that Switch. So if I had a Switch, I want to get one eventually, because I actually do want to play this new Pokemon game. I know it caught a lot of flack early on.
I haven't touched it yet.
You haven't touched it.
I also have the Arceus one.
Oh yeah, the Legend of
Arceus. I haven't touched that one either, and I just it's so tough. I have that, and I had literally right there again, Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't even touched it yet. It's still in this plastic wrap, and it's driving me crazy.
I see tears forming on the plastic.
You got to see tears forming. Yeah.
Is that condensation or tears?
It's so sad, bro.
Yo, turn the AC up in here, bro. It's hot. No, just play. We turned off the AC, just to give you guys the best experience in the podcast. So
you hear our sweaty bodies. Let me say something to you really quick, because I've spent a lot of times as a kid at the mall. Yes. I think a lot of kids these days, I don't know if the mall pops off for them as much as it used to. It used to be, like, for me, I remember the first time my parents let me go out on my own. Mm-hmm. It was like training wheels for like teen life or adulthood. Yeah. Was allowing me to go to the mall with my friends, or go by myself and go to like Suncoast and like check out the videos and stuff like that.
Sam Goody, do you ever remember
Sam Goody? Of course I do. Sam Goody. Like, these department stores, I feel like we're getting to a point where more and more of them are just closing down around us, because the shopping ecosystem is different. People just mindlessly buy on Amazon. I am at fault too, because I do the same thing. Or we just go to like Target for one stop shop. Mm-hmm. For everything, and a lot of these department stores are just falling by the wayside. I went to to a strip mall near me this week to go to Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. Barnes & Noble has been here for a very long time. I've been going, like, that's like my Barnes & Noble I go to, and it just vanished, like, without notice.
Wait, it's not there no more?
It's gone. Yeah,
it's gone
over here. Yeah, and it was really sad because
Because Barnes & Noble was like, they came back. Like, they were dying.
Yeah.
But then they had a resurgence.
Yeah, I mean, the one I have back home in Illinois, it's gone too. It's so sad. And I would. When I was a teenager,
which one did you go to?
Do you remember where Noff Noff was? Near Regal. Near Regal.
Okay. Oh.
It was right near, like where the Red Robin and Regal were over there.
Yeah, it was back in that corner, right?
Yeah, it turned into like a medical center. But what sucks is like Barnes and Noble to me is a very special place.
Oh yeah, me too.
And
a lot of stories at Barnes and Noble.
A lot of stories. I would go there. I'd get a coffee. I would like when I'm always into film and stuff. So when a movie was coming out, I'd go and get like the different magazines, like Empire magazine and Total Film, and I would get them from the magazine racks. They had all international magazines, and I'd go get the art books, and I would just hang out there and just. My dad's office wasn't too far. It was the best place because you got Starbucks and then you got like books and movies and records and vinyls.
Get a little coffee, you know.
Buy all the.
If you were a quick reader, you could read all the books. It was like a free library.
Well, also if your Barnes and Noble had a movie section, like they had movies that you could not find anywhere else.
CDs too.
CDs, like I was really into the Studio Ghibli films, and I couldn't find those anywhere. They had like Spirited Away and like Totoro, ones, but I can get like all of them, like Porco Rosso and this and that. They had everything over there. I loved it. So anyway, the Barnes and Noble closed here, and I was really thinking back of like, as a kid, the mall was like it was freedom, and then I was thinking about like all the stores that I grew up with, and I feel like they're slowly vanishing.
Yeah. And
I wanted to ask you, did you ever have like any connection and or feeling to a specific store, and like for me it was like the original, and I don't know if anybody here has experienced it, but the original Disney stores. And I know Disney stores are closing all around right now. There wasn't one in Hawthorne.
Downstairs in the corner, I remember.
Yeah, near the fountain. There used to be a little fountain over there.
By the fountain.
The original Disney stores, when they were like very dark lit, kind of black lit, they had very 90s decor. They had mannequins almost of all the different Disney characters.
Yeah.
It was such an incredible, fantastical environment.
Yeah, I used to just window shop at the Disney store, like
just being in there.
I like,
you feel like
honestly,
you're at Disneyland.
Like you, I mean, you grew up, you went to Disneyland, you went to Disney World. For me, I never until I met you, but like I remember as a kid, me and my sister, because we grew up watching Disney films, we would just go into the store and just look. Yeah. We were just like, we just go in there and like just be wowed at all the different toys, plushies, everything. And to me, that was like going to downtown Disney. Like now that I'm here, I'm like, damn, this is the Disney channel. This is the Disney store on crack, bro. Like this is crazy. Yeah. Like I feel like a kid again. But yeah, that store was awesome, bro. That was definitely a store in my mall rotation that I had to hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I had my rotation. Like you talk about stores that I remember about that like I had a connection with. For me, I had there was a couple, but for sure there was the card shop. It was called Hawthorne Coins and Cards.
Yep.
I would, whenever we said we're going to the mall, I always asked my parents to park at this specific spot because that mall entrance, it was right by the Sears. We went to Hawthorne Coins and Cards.
Yeah. And
the guy in there was a racist ass dude. So excuse my language, but like he hated us, bro. Honestly, like, and he didn't like kids either. Like I'm like, what do you deal with kids?
Yep.
And he hated us being in there, but we bought up all his cards, and I was a little hustler. Me and my group of friends, we used to play cards together with. We were little hustlers, like. We would buy and sell cards like crazy. So if it was hitting up like Books A Million was another bookstore we used to buy Pokemon cards at. We used to hit up, our buddies at the 7-Elevens. They hooked us up with Pokemon cards. And, I may have had a friend or two that maybe, did some shoplifting, some shoplifting stuff. We had some good cards. And that was our way to get money. We would trade in those cards, but that dude would only give us store credit. But he would hate it when we'd hit it. When we get the kids these days say hit a lick. Like we would say, hey, we'd like take this we'd take this half of the box, yoink, and we'd open it right in front of his face. Just boom, hit them with like, let's say Charizard.
Yeah.
Boom, how much? 120. All right, boom. And we would then after, because this is my route. I'm telling you my route for them all. Haul them coins and cards, sell some cards, get some money. Then we'd have to hit up McDonald's. We'd have to go to the
Not the Panda Express.
Well, that was too far. We'll head it on the flip side. So we hit the McDonald's, which is right there. Boom, eat, and then we'd either hit up Sam Goody.
Oh.
To just go to town on CDs, movies, you name it.
Oh my God, I miss Sam Goody.
You know, then we went around, hit up Foot Locker, which till that day it was still there. Maybe get some shoes, some Fat Farm, some Air Forces. And then we go around, take a look at the jewelry. Yeah, maybe one day we'll get married. You know, then we hit around. This is the real gem right here. This is the hidden gem, Funko Land.
Oh.
Do you remember Funko Land?
Of course I remember.
That was before it became EB Games, before it became KB Toys. Funko Land. Oh, before it became GameStop.
Yeah.
Funko Land was where we also did some hustling. Because we had video games, we'd sell, we'd buy. We still had some money left over from the cards. Get some N64 games, boom, boom, boom. Then we'd hit up the Panda Express.
See, I think kids these days, they'll never experience the fun of that. Because now it's just, Mom, can I have credit? Mom, can I get the
hustle is missing.
Fortnite card?
Yeah.
Roblox card?
It's not the same.
Whatever.
Like, we used to hustle back in the day. There's still some hustlers out there.
It was so much fun,
There's
man.
still some hustlers, but that's
I
what we
never
do.
I never did the EB Games hustle, but I mean, I remember going to Funko Land as a kid, KB Toys, Disney Store. There's actually, I watched something, I want to say a year or two ago, that I thought was really, really fascinating, that I want to do a detailed scrapped soon about. And you know how there's a Disney Store?
Yeah.
During that time, in the early 90s, Disney, or maybe it was late 80s, they also tried to get into the fast food game. And
wait, who did?
Disney.
Disney tried to get into the fast food game.
Listen to this.
Okay.
So imagine the Disney Store, but then it also attached to it is like a burger, like quick service fast food counter, and they had like a whole seating area and like fast food toys and everything. It was really fascinating, and that's something that I have on my list of things to do for scraps. That's definitely what I want to do.
That's actually very interesting.
Really, really cool.
I mean, with what ended up happening with like the regulations and stuff, how they didn't want you to, pair these toys that were enticing the little kids with fast food.
Yeah.
They obviously would have got scrapped. I mean, it would have gone under.
Yeah, it would have been very, very difficult for them. Well, and the thing is, they actually built several of them, and they ran for a couple of years. Yeah, there was one in I think. The video that I saw was talking specifically about Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
which is really, really cool. So that's something I want to talk about at some point, because I wish I experienced that. And you can still kind of see, well, now Disney stores are almost all extinct, or maybe they are extinct, all of them. But there's remnants of like the restaurants in some of the Disney stores like around America, which is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that kids still do experience it, just in a different way. And I think they don't experience it in the sense that we did in these like enclosed malls. But I've been to a lot of like these outdoor malls out here, and I see a bunch of little kids out there. Like, for me, going to the mall was like you said, it was the place where you hung out with your friends. It was always the first time you like we gotta ASMR this right here, because I'm about to drop some knowledge. Ooh. That's really good. That's some good apple juice right there. Oh yeah, that's some real good stuff. But like, going to the mall was also like the first experience where like, some girls started joining the crew, and then like you start holding hands. Like, that was like the first time I ever like held a girl's hand, was like going to the mall, and then we'd hit up the theater. Like, we'd go to Showplace 8. Or they shut down one called River Tree. But we used to hit up those two. That was one of the places I got arrested at one time. That's a whole other story. Yeah. Rest in peace to Aber. One day we'll tell that story. But it was kind of like all these different experiences.
What a cliffhanger, by the way. I mean,
we'll tell the story.
No. I think we should say that for the episode.
Yeah, but I see that now. Like, I still see when I go out, I see the kids out there. They're with their little girlfriends, and they're with their gang of friends, and they're out there being mischievous, doing kid stuff, and a lot of people, I think, are like, oh, these kids, these stupid kids, like blah blah blah. But I think like you and I talked about
people
this.
forget that they did the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you and I talked about this off camera, and we're like, dude, like, a lot of people that we grew up with,
Yeah.
you know, we look at them now and like, you know, hey, all props to you. You're doing your thing, blah blah blah. But I feel like you and I, and obviously some more people, like, we never lost our inner kid. We never lost our dream. We never lost what kept our gears going. And people may have lost it. They can still find it. Like, I want people to listen to this podcast, and maybe they already feel like they lost it.
Yeah.
But, like, you can find it. Like, everyone on this planet has something that makes their gears turn, and everyone has a passion. Luckily for you and I, we're still doing it, you know? It may not be what we do full time, but we're still doing it. I love doing this.
And here's the thing,
you know?
like, I don't understand Fortnite. I don't understand Among Us or Roblox or whatever these games or kids are playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand the love that they have for it.
Right.
Because when I was a kid, I remember people making snarky comments that were older than me about Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, look, it's so stupid. I don't understand it. What are they, aliens? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, like, this is something I'm really passionate about and I love. And when they were kids, they were probably into Transformers or He-Man or something.
It's like you forget your roots.
Exactly. It's like, no, I went through the same thing, and I was really passionate about something that the previous generation thought was really stupid. So, like, I look at these kids today, and I'm like, oh, I think, like, you know, the floss dance, like, that's old me, but, like, you know, whatever is big right now, Roblox or whatever. I look at it, and I'm like, what is this? But then it's like, no, it's like, that's that kid's Pokemon.
Right.
You know, and I'm not going to shit on that.
And, like, you can still, like, relate to them. But a lot of people can't, is what I'm saying.
They
a lot of
lose
people
that.
can't because they already lost that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, like, I guess it's just a PSA. You know, try to find your inner kid again, because maybe you don't have kids yet, or you're going to have kids in the future. But
and even if
your
you
kids,
don't.
I think if you do have kids, though, your kids will benefit from you realizing that you yourself were a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe bits and pieces like you were missing of when you were a child, like some inner healing, child healing or whatever I was just talking about earlier. It'll help you with that. And it'll help your kid, I think. You know, I've seen it. You know, with who I live with right now, like that dude, you know, shout out to, you know, Clout Lord. He has not lost his inner child, and I see the way, like, he raises his child. It's like he's a kid again.
Beautiful family.
Yeah. You know, so like I look at that, I'm like, dude, if I have kids one day, that's how I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be like that. I'm gonna be playing Roblox, Minecraft, you know, whatever you throw my way, I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in there doing it. So,
you know, love it, man. I think it's so important that we, you know, always have appreciation for those who are older than us, and I think more importantly those that are younger than us, because that generation is going to influence the next generation and so on and so forth. You know, and I've noticed it, I think, recently. I think, and I don't want to say it's like, oh, we hit 30, you know, we have this new perspective, but I think it is true that, you know, I noticed the disregard for, like, a lot of these younger kids, and it always bothers me because I keep thinking, it wasn't that long ago that you were in the same position and people disregarded you, and how did that feel?
Right.
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't.
And it always bothers me when people talk down to kids, or if a kid is maybe fumbling on something. Like, let's say, you know, let's say a father tasks and I'm not saying I experienced this, but a father tasks a child to paint a bench. Mm-hmm. And like, oh no, you're messing it up. You're messing it up.
Wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Let me do it. Mm-hmm. No, teach your kid how to do it. And I'm not making this like a parenting podcast, but like
we're not kids yet.
What
we don't have
I'm
kids.
saying is, I have a lot of respect for the younger generation. I think we shouldn't talk down to them. I think we should talk to them on the same level that they deserve to be a part of. Because I remember being in that position at one point in my life, and I always the people. I look back at the people that have inspired me in my life. And I have a handful of people that are so influential, and they'll be in my heart for the rest of my life. And those people talk to me at my most adolescent, as if I was at the same level as them, as if I was an equal. They never talked down to me. They treated me with respect.
Right.
And it always shaped it. That interaction throughout whatever duration of time shaped me into the person that I am today.
Yeah, and I wonder how many of those people know that.
Yeah.
Because there's people in my life, like you're saying, that have done the same thing to me, and I don't think they really know that. And maybe I don't think I ever, ever reached out, but
I think it's important that we tell those people how influential they are. I have I don't want to say anybody by name, but he was our...
Shamu.
It was
Shamu over there.
Yeah, Mr. Shamu was an incredible person in my life, and he's still with us, thank goodness. But he was a teacher of mine, and he was with the school for decades and decades. His heart and soul was the school. And to give you an idea of who this teacher was, everybody respected him because they slightly feared him. But at the same time, he was like the kindest, hardest person. Like so empathetic. So like I remember several examples of us having a big test,
right?
Math, let's say, and we've been studying all week, and he would ask us on the day of the test, all right, test is ready, everybody, prepared. If there was one person that didn't understand the material, he would hold the test for everybody. And that's the difference. And I think everyone talks about I had a bad teacher or this and that. There's teachers that it's just a job, and they'll fail a student, whatever. Let's move on to the next lesson.
Yeah. That was not Donkey Kong.
That was not Donkey Kong.
Was that Diddy? Is that the pre-Donkey Kong?
I don't know who that was. Yeah. But and then there's teachers that they're not concerned about the letter grade. They're concerned whether or not the kid understood the material. Yeah. And I think, I was having a conversation with somebody recently that the idea of kids, and I remember as a kid doing this, just memorizing the material to pass the test, and then you move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And
you never retain it, and you just lose it. Mm-hmm. And it always bothered me because there are certain things that I learned that I don't remember to this day.
Right.
Because I was just moving on to the next test, and the teachers where I learned the most from cared deeply whether or not I retained that knowledge, and they weren't concerned, and nor did I feel the concern or the pressure to get a good grade in that class, because the only metric of success was understanding. Yeah. And it wasn't the A.
Yeah, and man, you nailed that right on the money. And you can see that to this day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for teachers to get more pay. I think everyone would agree with that.
No.
I think, or maybe not everyone, but the majority of people would say, yes, they deserve the most money. But with that being said,
because they raised us. I mean, I have teachers that I feel like are aunts and uncles to me because of that.
I feel like, though, I think it's like a double-edged sword. But I'm all for them to get more money. I think, they should probably get more money. But there's people that go into teaching for the money. And then there's people that go into teaching because they legitimately are good people and they want to help people and they're educated on their topic and they want to make a difference in someone's lives that's going to make a huge impact.
Right.
You look at the graduations we were at recently. How many of those teachers and professors are the students going to look up to and remember for the rest of their lives? And how many classes of students do they go through? I guarantee you have one teacher in our high school, and I do too. Yeah. If we were to call them tomorrow, they'll still remember who we were.
Yeah.
We could probably have a attic-long podcast with them. I wanted to start a podcast. Okay, look.
Love to do that, actually.
I was going to start a podcast in the past, and I actually hit up one of my teachers, and I asked her.
From high school?
Yeah, and I asked her.
I know who.
You know who.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, hey, I want to have you on the podcast because she honestly has a huge impact on where I am today, whether she believes it or not.
Yeah.
And I was like, I legitimately think I could have like a 30 to 45-minute conversation with her on a podcast, and she's the reason why I wanted to call it the name that I wanted to call it. And that just goes to show I hope that everyone has a teacher like that.
Either a teacher or somebody in their life that has made an impact like that.
Yeah.
And I open up to all of you, whether or not you want to share or not. I think it's really interesting to reflect on those people that really made an impact on your life, and whether or not they know about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't be afraid to reach out, because I guarantee you, if you do and you let them know,
it's gonna make their whole year.
It'll mean so much.
Yeah.
It'll mean so much to them, and she helped me out a lot. People don't realize that, like, you can still hit up these teachers, like, if you're trying to get a job, and you submit your resume, they will write you a letter of recommendation. Mm-hmm. It's not just for college. Mm-hmm. Anything. You got a ticket, you got to go to court, you need a letter for someone about your character.
Right.
Hit these people up. They know you. Like, they were like they're like a mom away from home, or a dad away from home, mm-hmm. or whatever,
It's mom on payroll.
But those are the teachers, bro, that aren't there for the money.
Right.
What I wish that those teachers got more money.
Yeah.
But the teachers that aren't there for the money, those are the true gems. Those are the true diamonds in the education system.
I will say that I've been very, very blessed. I've had some great teachers.
I've had a lot of diamonds.
Really good teachers throughout grade school and high school and beyond. Like, I've been very, very blessed.
Yeah, I'm like the Phil Jackson student, bro. I had 11 diamonds. All my teachers were diamonds, bro.
So I'm gonna say two things right now.
Mm-hmm.
Two things. Number one, and I open this to the entire floor on the attic right now, right? Would you be open to having guests at some point, whether it's a teacher or somebody from your or my life calling in? Would you be open? And this is a question I have for everybody. Would you guys be open to having another person on the attic? Whether we're interviewing another influencer or somebody in the gaming, movie space, whatever space, somebody that we know, somebody that we've worked with in the past, somebody you guys want us to talk to, would you be open to having this podcast open to more people?
Yeah,
and
that's a great question.
The third question I have is, have you gone to Entertainment Earth?
Oh my God. I was gonna throw it in there when we were talking about, all the things that, like, mean a lot to us and how to, heal your inner child.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hey, what better way than to hit up Entertainment Earth?
Yeah.
And start doing that right now.
Now, what's great about Entertainment Earth, and I know this is gonna sound very, very commercial, but what I love is that I can get all the exclusive toys and things that I want to get, collectibles, without having to do the whole search that I usually generally do at Target. Mm-hmm. For instance, right now I'm collecting these Indiana Jones retro. They look like Kenner figures, but they're Hasbro reprints.
They're new, but they look like
they're new, originals. But they look exactly
yeah. Retro.
And some of them are so hard to find at Targets or what have you that I need to buy them online. And Entertainment Earth has them all, and you can also pre-order a lot of this stuff too. So
yeah, and I was gonna save some money. I've been putting some money off to the side. Let me see what I can,
you wanted to get some Halo stuff recently, right?
Yeah, but like, why wait so long to save money on the side when you can just use our code and save 10% right now? Like,
exactly.
You don't even need to save money. Maybe you can cut a week off. Just
so there's
save
a
10%.
URL in the description. Is that what you're saying?
There's in the description, in the comments
Gotcha.
down below, and the code is right there too. Don't look no further. What's the code again, Chris?
Well, it's the URL for Entertainment Earth. You'll see it down below. /CCMTOYS. There you go.
So check it out, man. Go copy yourself some stuff. Off. Go heal your inner child. Go buy if you got some kids, go buy them something. And show them that you care.
Tell us or send us photos of the toys and
DK,
Donkey Kong.
DK, I told you this mother trucker.
I knew he was coming through.
God,
I told you.
Man, I thought you kicked him out of here.
I told him to leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're talking about deals, and he's like, "No, it's not good enough."
He's like, "Are there any bananas on Entertainment Earth?" This guy. No, there's no bananas. We'll talk to them. We'll see what we can do for you, DK. But, sheesh, yeah, man. Click the link in the description, down in the comments down below. Go cop yourself some some toys, some collectibles. Save some money while you're doing it.
And show us what you got. I think we should do an episode where we talk about some of the things we get, like collectible items and things we like.
Social media. I think the best place for people to like really showcase the stuff is anywhere they can use hashtags and you know, and just tag us. So I say, like, if you buy anything or you want to share anything with us, hashtag the attic. Right?
The attic or hashtag CCMTOYS.
Hashtag CCMTOYS, hashtag the attic. Let us see it on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. We're on there. We're on TikTok. Did we tell you guys we're on TikTok?
Oh, what?
Yes, follow us on TikTok. We're trying to get to at least 1,000 on there so we can go live on there one day.
I want to ask you something. So in the previous episode, I was saying that each episode so far has kind of an overarching theme.
Right.
First one was very movie oriented. Second one was very much gaming. Third was food related, and then the
fourth one
was very like tech.
Technological, yep.
I have an idea of what this one was, or what do you think it was? I think I can sum it up.
This one was like childhood.
Inner child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inner child.
The inner child.
And we didn't even plan this, bro. Sometimes we climb the stairs, we hop in this attic, and we sit on this couch, and magic happens, and I believe people can see that and hear that. You can't see it yet. We got to get to 100,000. But you can hear it. And you'll be able to hear it on Spotify and Apple Music very, very soon.
Oh, I forgot to say, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it very, very soon. And until you see it, you can definitely hear and you can definitely feel the organicness that we have here on this podcast. And thank you so much for listening, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in every single Friday. Yes. My name is Christian.
And well, we're really going to close it off.
Yes.
My name is Chris.
And you.
We've just been ChrisCrossed in the
attic.
There you go. Wow.
Peace.
We did not rehearse.
Ow. Ba-dum, bop.